Hello, Daniel. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm with you.
Oh, okay. So thank you for joining us today. So we're here to discuss about Peter Obi that he picks Doyin Ukupe as running mate.
Well, I would say Doyin Okupe has a long political history. He's not a small politician. He's very popular in the West, and
He's popular in the West, but I don't know him. I think many Nigerians don't really know him,
are they
especially social media
are
users.
they doing Ajibike Ekupe was born in 22 March 1952. He's better known as Dr. Doyin Okupe, and he was a former special assistant on media publicity to President Olusegun Obasanjo. And he was also a senior assistant on public affairs to President Goodluck Jonathan. So he's a very popular politician in the West, and a lot of people know Doyin Okupe. It's only baby people that don't know about politics that would not really know him. If you are somebody that follows Nigerian politics, during the Goodluck Jonathan administration, Doyin Okupe was just like the Lai Mohammed. Lai Mohammed that you have right now, that was his job, to defend Goodluck Jonathan and to do anything that will make Goodluck Jonathan look good. That was the job of Doyin Okupe. So he was very popular. He was very, very popular.
Then what motivated Peter Obi to pick him as his running mate?
No,
I don't know.
Doyin
I don't know
is a
how.
popular politician. Maybe you never heard about him, but like you are right when you say he's supposed to pick from the north. But the people galvanizing around Peter Obi right now, if Peter Obi have picked a candidate from the north, a lot of them will not be happy about it. Most people, sorry to say, it's very sad to say this, most people supporting Peter Obi right now, more of them are IPOB, people who used to be former IPOB agitators, IPOB supporters that felt like, okay, it's Igbo man is coming in, they should support an Igbo presidency. So it's a kind of sympathetic, so I call it a sympathetic revolution. Let me just put that English, a sympathetic revolution involving most Nigerians from the West. That, okay, these people are agitating, Igbo man should be president. So people from the South should support Peter Obi. People from the West should support Peter Obi. There may be some few Northerners would support Peter Obi based on the notion that Igbos are supposed to be president right now. So we've tried PDP, we've tried APC, it failed, but just give Igbo man the chance to rule. So most of these people, it's a kind of sympathetic atmosphere right now. So and Peter Obi is trying to ride on that atmosphere. He doesn't want to ruin it. He doesn't want to make his followers feel like he's not really.
I know that many Nigerians would not like to hear this, but I don't think this is working. This is going to work for him at all.
Let me say this.
It's not going to work.
Let me say this, Nick. But a lot of people in the eastern region, like before I said it, my stand. I believe in detribalization. Like I've always said it several times. Detribalization of Nigeria. Most of the people in the southeast, most especially southeast, they believe that the problem of Nigeria is Fulanis and Muslims. That are the problem of Nigeria, and those are the people that are clamoring for. Many of them are clamoring for a Peter Obi. And many of these people are able to influence the social media space. They're able to influence the social media space and influence other people from other parts of Nigeria, most especially the southern part of Nigeria. Most comedians in the southern part of Nigeria, they are beginning to support Peter Obi because of the pressure, the heat put upon them to do it. So imagine Peter Obi picking a northerner who is a Fulani man. That will not go well with his followers. They will not be. It might lose the momentum, like the momentum that is going for Peter Obi right now might be lost. So I think Okupe might be a last resolution for Peter Obi. Looking at, okay, this man, can he win Ogun State? Can he win Ekiti State? Can he win Ibadan? Due to the popularity of Doyin, right? There's still consultation going on.
Which consultation?
There is still a consultation going on, so it might not be a final pick. Like Bola Tinubu picked a temporary candidate, So it might not be a final pick because people can still talk to Peter Obi that, hey, listen, if you want to win this election, this is what you do, because it's like a consultation. It's a kind of a temporary pick for him right now, for him to make up his mind, see what the people is like a feel. What are the people feeling? Do the people like this man? So you can pick double presidential aspirant. You can change your mind and say, okay, I don't want to pick this person anymore. I want to run with this person. So Peter Obi still has time, still have some time before the INEC deadline.
But he has already picked a running mate.
Yeah, he has picked a running mate, but he can change. He can decide to say, he can say, okay, I'm no longer going to work with this guy. I want to work with somebody else. This reason. And because there's still a consultation going on. He's still talking to different people. Like we are talking about this program now, Peter Obi might watch this program and say, hey, maybe there's something is wrong here. Maybe there's a miscalculation here. I'm not supposed to do this. So let me go back to the drawing board and re-strategize. If he wants to win,
I still don't understand. How can somebody pick a running mate and we should be expecting another running mate again?
It's possible. It's very, very possible, because you have to before the deadline, you can change. There's a deadline. So if that deadline have not been, if they have not reached that deadline, they can change. This is just like a temporary thing. Atiku can decide to change. I want to go back and say, okay, I want to pick Wike. As long as the deadline has not been reached and he has not submitted the name officially to INEC as the running mates. So once they have not done that, there's still a space. There's still a window, like a space for them to say, okay, this is not the right thing to do. I need to switch. So I think Peter Obi
he needs to be more strategic in his planning. So I don't see him going anywhere with this running mates. I'm not sure. This has already compromised.
It's a political blunder by Mr. Peter Obi. It's a double political blunder by him, But what I'm trying to say, Nekpe, is that the political blunder can be salvaged. He can save himself from the damage. And because I'm going to be very unbiased in my analysis, I'm not going to talk like I'm going to be very unbiased with Peter Obi in my analysis. I think for him to really galvanize the people around him, he has to have a political structure. So this shows that Peter Obi is not ready. It's not ready for
he's not ready. Yeah, he's not ready.
The social media frenzy that is going on around him right now. Because right now he was supposed to pick a northerner just to tease the northerners, to tease them that, hey, if you have picked a Lamido Sanusi from the north,
somebody charismatic from the north,
the northerners will kind of feel a spark, that what's about this Peter Obi?
Yes.
Because I was talking to somebody yesterday. He said he went to the whole of Kaduna. He was asking market women about Peter Obi. Many of them don't seem to know who Peter Obi is, because these people are not on social media. They are not on WhatsApp group. They are not on Facebook group. So they don't seem to know who Peter Obi is. So, but Peter Obi would be able to use this social media trend to boost himself, by picking somebody from the north, whether a Fulani man, but somebody from the north. But picking somebody from the west, it shows that he has made a political somersault. So it's even somebody like Sanusi Lamidu is good. Like Ribado is also very good for Peter Obi. If he picks Ribado is also very good for him. So, but I don't know who is advising, who is giving Peter Obi this advice, but I feel like he doesn't want to displease his supporters, because most of the IPOB supporters, who are also Peter Obi supporters, who used to be IPOB members, and most of the Igbos that believe in Biafra, and who are people who are writing this propaganda, online propaganda. Oh, Peter Obi went to Egypt for power to check how electricity works there. All kinds of propaganda that is going on social media. So those who are involved in this propaganda would not like Peter Obi to pick a Fulani man.
I was expecting him to be more charismatic in his campaign by picking somebody very hot from the north, that will help to boost his chances in the north. But I can't see anything like that right now. So I think
Maybe
he's
Peter
already
Obi
out of the picture right now.
Peter Obi might turn back the switch. He might decide to turn back the switch based on he might watch this program and see all social media posts. But a lot of IPOB members and people that are supporting IPOB and Biafra agitation, they are very happy with Peter Obi's speak. They believe it's the right thing because Okupe is a Christian. Peter Obi is a Christian. Doyin is also a Christian, so they are very happy that, which means Peter Obi agenda is not to support Islamization of the West.
How can we avoid Muslim? Look, we are talking about Nigeria, the unity of Nigeria. You understand? So how can we exclude Muslim from this process? There's no way we can avoid that. We have multiple religions in Nigeria, which is the Christian and the Muslim, the two dominant religions in Nigeria. So you should pick one Muslim or one Christian, just like what Atiku just did. Even though that we are criticizing Atiku for picking Okowa, we know that Okowa is not even fit, it's not close. But they pick Okowa because it can be their puppets, So that one, at least it still makes sense that he picked somebody who is a Christian, with Christian background. I see no reason why Peter Obi should go pick a Christian, and he did not even pick a Christian from the north. He picked a Christian from the southwest.
Let me do the calculation for you, Nepe. What I'm seeing on social media, I don't know, maybe you don't follow what is going on social media and public opinion among many Igbos and many Igbos from the southeast. It's that the Catholic are strongly behind Peter Obi, so they are calculating the Christian votes. That if all Christians in Nigeria come together and support Peter Obi, Christians in the north, Christians in the southeast, Christians in the middle belt, they come together and support Peter Obi, that Peter Obi might have the chances of winning the election. So they also believe that Peter Obi have to make his agenda clear that he's not for Fulanis. He's not going to be controlled by the Fulanis. From the beginning of Peter Obi's campaign, that was one of the things that most IPOP supporters and former Biafra agitators, I will call them former because many of them are not agitating for Biafra anymore. Now they are fighting for a Peter Obi presidency. So many of them wanted Peter Obi to make himself clear to them that he was not going to work for the Fulanis. He was going to work for the interests of the Southeast. But I don't really know the agenda of Peter Obi. If Peter Obi is trying to play a political game, because I've seen where some Catholic church, they endorsed him. And if you look at what happened after Father Mbaka insulted Peter Obi, there was a lot of backlash against Father Mbaka, which he had to tender an apology to Peter Obi. I don't know if you follow that incident. So they are trying to make it like a Christian and Muslim agenda. Though Nigeria, that Muslims have destroyed the country, the Boko Haram, the killing and killer headsmen. So the choice for Peter Obi now is to please and make his supporters happy. But Nigeria is a very complex country. You can't play that kind of.
If he's not ready to accept the diversity prevailing in the country, which means he's not ready to become the president of Nigeria. He's not going to be the president of the Christians alone. He's going to be the president of all Nigerians. You understand? Regardless of your religious background. So if he's not inclusive now, how can he rule Nigeria? How can he manage Nigeria as a country, a very diverse country like that, with different ethnic groups and religions?
I feel it's
okay. It might end up decamping to PDP again while giving all the votes to PDP. Something like that I'm expecting will happen in future.
No, it won't happen.
Because I don't think
it won't happen. It's not going to happen.
To become the president of Nigeria. With this vice that he just picked, it just shows that he's not ready.
I don't think it will happen, Ekpe. You have to look at the political landscape right now. If you check what is going on in Nigeria right now, there's a religious crisis in the country, Fulani herdsmen. There is a social political crisis in the country, and you have the agitators, people agitating for Biafra, agitating for a separated state. And you just saw what happened in Ondo State in Owo. So there's so much division in the country right now. So the game plan for a politician is to ride on that division. And Peter Obi is a master of such things. Look at what he did in Anambra State, the crisis between the Catholic and the Anglicans. He was able to take advantage of that crisis for his own political gain. And I think Peter Obi knows exactly what he's doing. He knows the kind of game he's playing. I think it's a political game. So, but in the long term, let us see if that political game would work, because Nigeria is a very complex, very complex society. So I expected Peter Obi to pick somebody like Sanusi Lamido, or
Exactly.
to pick somebody charismatic from the north. And I'm very disappointed in Peter Obi, and he shows that he's not ready. He shows that he's not ready. But
A
people
whole
are not.
former governor of a state is supposed to be at least having some backings from the governors, in Nigeria. I can't see any governor supporting him right now.
No,
Some godfathers.
Peter Obi is a ethnic. Sorry to say, some people might be very angry because I'm a political analyst. I read very vast. There are some certain things people don't know about Peter Obi. Peter Obi is a ethnic bigot. He is coming now to preach to people that he's a saint, that he sent Obi. Peter Obi is a political bigot. This is the same man that told El-Rufai, Nasiru El-Rufai, when he was governor, that El-Rufai cannot visit his state because El-Rufai is a Fulani man. So Fulani does not have any business with Anambra State. I don't know, many people must have forgotten the crisis between El-Rufai had to take the case to court. Because in Nigerian constitution, yes, can check it, can Google it. El-Rufai in Nigerian constitution, as long as we are one Nigeria, we are not divided. Every Nigerian has a right to go to any state in the 36 states. Freedom of movement. You don't need a passport. You don't need a visa. You don't need a stamp. You can go to any state of your choice. So for Peter Obi to have told Nasiru El-Rufai that he doesn't have a business in Anambra State because he's a Fulani man, he must go back to Katsina. It shows that Peter Obi himself is not a saint. He's also a political bigot.
There is an allegation that during his tenure as the governor of Anambra State, he implemented a policy that any northerner in the state should carry identity card. But people are trying to manipulate the news, saying that
he did that for security reasons, for security purposes. That's why he did that. I mean, northerners carried ID card in the eastern part of in all southeastern states. I'm not trying to support Peter Obi for that decision. He said he did it based on security threats that the northerners might pose to the southeasterners, that the Igbos. He doesn't want the northerners to kill the Igbos or anything. He was trying to protect the Igbos. So that's why he said the northerners must carry an identity card, a special identity card anywhere they are, anywhere they go to.
Oh Lord.
So that's why he did that. So according to him, he didn't do that based on hatred or his hatred for the northerners.
Why should you single out only the northerners in Nigeria? He would have imposed such policy on all Nigerians in the eastern region. You cannot single out only the northerners. That is so discriminative. So, in the north, we have many Igbos in the north. If they do the same thing to Igbo people in the north, how will you feel when we said we have this one Nigeria? So I think Peter Obi, I think we should stop discussing about him. He's not ready for now. I think he's working for either PDP or APC. We should be expecting him endorsing Atiku or endorsing.
I don't think he's going to be. It's not going. If you are waiting for that, it's not going to happen. One thing many people don't understand in Nigeria is that it's just that power is not in the hands of the Igbo people. I always tell a lot of my Igbo brothers and sisters that Igbo people are more tribalistic than the Hausa Fulani. I've been to the north. I've dealt with Hausa. I've dealt with Fulanis. And I've been to the East several times. I'm from Enugu State, precisely. I'm from Enugu State. So many people that don't know. So I've been to the East. I didn't grow up in the East, but I always travel to the East several times. And there's a lot of discrimination in the East for non-Igbos. The atmosphere is not even conducive for somebody who is not an Igbo person to be able to come into the East and successfully do business in the East. And you can see what happened during the recent protest, where Dangote trucks were burnt by the Biafra agitators. And you saw what happened. The onions, tomatoes, the cow were being killed. And the Northerners are very, very silent. They are very quiet. And the Igbos are quick to scream and shout. Once the Northerners retaliate, you see on social media, because the Igbos know about propaganda, social media. You see on social media, they are killing us. Hausa people are killing us. Hey, Igbos, they want to eliminate us. They want to kill Igbos. But tribalism is deep in the Southeast. It's very, very deep, because Peter Obi has not proven himself to be any different. He has not come forward to say, okay, he wants to unite the country. He wants to build a Nigerian that is detribalized, a Nigerian that people are not judged by their religion, people are not judged by their sex, people are not judged by where they come from, they are not judged by their language. A Nigerian where people can thrive based on being their self, a united Nigeria. He hasn't come forward to say this is the type of Nigeria that they condemn. He has never for one day condemned ESN. He has never for one day condemned the sit at home in the southeastern region. So, but it's a very sad event that Igbos are doing their business in other parts of the country, in the north.
Yes.
Nobody disturbs the Igbos. Nobody troubles the Igbos. Nobody says Igbo people must carry identity card, or Igbo people must, before you buy a land, you must show your identity card, or go through. They are being treated as a foreigner, because you heard what happened in Ghana, where Igbos, their shops were being closed. In Ghana, they were closing Igbo people's shop, and Ghanaians deported some Igbo. We said Nigerian. Let me not say Nigerians. Nigerians of
not Igbos, Nigerians. Yes.
So, but Peter Obi has not really come forward to prove that he is not a ethnic bigot. He's not somebody that is somebody that is reliable, somebody that can be trusted. And what does it tell you for a lot of IPOP supporters? ESN, people into IPOP supporters, Biafra agitator, to be supporting Peter Obi. That means it tells you about the agenda. It tells you about his political philosophy. It tells you
Daniel, there is a comment here, Daniel. Someone just left a comment. Martins Ezeje said, Doyin Okupe has been replaced by Atihiru Jiga. Atihiru Jiga. Who is that?
Atihiru Jiga was the former INEC chairman. Was former
okay,
INEC
let me Google it right now if I can. All these names.
He was a former INEC. He was former INEC chairman. And somebody commented that this man is from, people have called me all sorts of names, but I want to say, everybody watching this program right now, I do not believe in tribalism. No, people, I mean, Nekpe knows me. She has been talking to me. I don't know. I don't believe in tribalism. So because I'm not tribally, I don't owe anybody any tribal affiliation. So I can speak my mind the way I want to speak it. You can say I'm a Fulani man. You can say I'm a Togo man. You can say I'm a Do man. You can say I'm a Idoma man. Whatever you want to call me, you can call me. But if you're a Yoruba person, you are wrong. I will criticize you. If you're an Igbo person, you are wrong. I will criticize you. If you're a Hausa person, you are wrong. I will criticize you. I have no form of bias. I will tell you the way it is. So looking at the whole politics playing in Nigeria, Peter Obi is very dangerous for Nigeria.
Martins, there is no official news out there saying that he has picked Atihiru. So we cannot base our conclusion on that for now.
The confirmed news that we have right now is that Peter Obi has picked Doyin Okupe. That's confirmed news. But like I said before,
yes, that is the official news right now.
You can see the backlash from the north, from people in the north, and he can decide that it's not right. He can change it. he has time to change it. That's what I just said in this program, that he has the time to change it. Even Atiku has a time to change Okowa if he wants to. So there is time for him to change it until the deadline where INEC will officially seal it.
I don't think he will change it. I don't think so.
Well, he might
Because
see the he might see,
before
don't
anyone,
mess with politics. He can change it. He can change it because he might see the backlash. He might decide to change it.
he must have been contemplating on running for the presidency for over these years. It's not something you just wake up overnight and just declaring your intention that you're going to run for the presidency. He might be contemplating for 2-3 years that he's going to run for the presidency. And during that process, he should pick a running mate. So for somebody to pick a running mate now and change it later, I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure of that.
Well,
So he has already picked a running mate.
The thing is that one thing I want to say in this program before I forget, I will say this: many Igbo that are watching this program, I want to say this. The thing is that many of the Igbos don't know what they want. They don't know exactly what they want. They want Nigeria. They want Biafra. You know? And looking at the political agendas, the political agenda is that nothing is going to make the Igbos happy. I don't think Peter Obi is even going to make Igbos happy. Because the Igbos, I'm not saying all Igbos, not all Igbos. Let me make myself clear, clarify myself. So many Igbos want Nigeria to fail. They don't want Nigeria to work. Anything that will make Nigeria fail, they prefer it. They even want Atiku to win the presidency, so that when Atiku wins the presidency, if he fails, they say, you see it, Fulani has failed. If Tinubu wins, they will say, Yorubas are the problem. Now, it wouldn't be Fulani anymore, it will be Yorubas. Yorubas are betrayers. They are our problem. We see what we said about Yorubas. Then if Peter Obi wins the presidency, they will say, he was controlled by Fulani. Fulani are the ones that control him. So whatever we make Nigeria to fail, that is what Igbos are looking for. And many Igbos that are looking for this thing is because they are ignorant. They don't know that they want a Biafra and they still want to retain Nigeria. They want to retain their hold in Lagos, Ibadan, Kaduna, Port Harcourt, River State. They want to retain their hold in many of these places, thinking that when Biafra comes, they have their flag, they will still have the same equality in Oduduwa land. They will still have the same equality in Arewa. That is what many of the illiterates believe, not knowing that if you get Biafra, you are going to be treated as a foreigner. You need stamp to travel to any places where you travel to do your business freely. So, and many of them are supporting Peter Obi because they believe that Peter Obi will bring their dreams to reality. The dreams of the Igbo greatness. You know? Because I read a statement from somebody say restoration
the dream
of
for
the
Biafra land will not be actualized for Obi becoming the president of Nigeria. So if they are supporting him because he's going to fulfill their dream of experiencing what they term as a Biafra land, that is impossible. And Peter Obi is not even approaching this issue of a presidency. He's not approaching it well. You know, he's not going anywhere like this. You cannot be tribalistic and expect Nigerians to support you.
Doyin is only standing temporarily right now. We're not sure if Doyin is only temporary. So there might be changes within the next 48 hours, within the next 3 days, there might be changes. So let's see what Peter Obi is going to do. Let's see what Peter Obi is going to do.
Yes, good evening.
But Mr. Sani is with us, is joining us from Kano right now. Yes. Mr. Sani is joining us from Kano.
Yes,
Kano.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sani.
Good afternoon, I would say. I know the time difference, but it's getting late here now.
Yes,
but
thank you,
sir. You see, we've said this thing over and over again. If you see the game, I would say Mr. Obi is a dangerous man. He's a very dangerous man. The precedence of his government in Anambra State, if you go back and bring it back to focus, you can say he's a dangerous man. To shortcut what he's doing, is envious of Kanu, Namdi Kanu. He just felt Namdi Kanu is a hero now for the Igbos, so he's playing the game now. See what he's trying to do? He's trying to create division between Muslim and Christian in his own calculation. He thinks by picking a Christian, the Christian in the north, he was of the opinion to divide Nigeria along Christian and Islam, so that at the end of the day,
that's very correct.
The Igbos now will forward their agenda against, because if you look at them, like the gentleman said, the Igbos, let's assume we the Fulani don't like us, but they're not friendly to their neighbors. They're not friendly to Edo, Delta, Akwa Ibom, Calabar, Ijo. They are not friendly to that. So they want to take on
that's
that.
Very correct. Nobody can deny that. That's true.
Yes, they want to ride on that at a point so that they think they can break, or they can be a major force within the minority.
No, don't say Igbos are not friendly to the neighboring states. They're not all Igbos.
No, not all Igbos. Not 100. Let me come in, not 100% of Igbos. Like all Igbos. There are some Igbos that are good. Not all of them. Let's not say all.
If an evil thing is going on, those who are quiet about the evil thing are also part of the evil thing. So what I'm trying to say, you can look at around the Benue, Idoma, Tib, Jukun, Iga, all these tribes cannot own even a property in Igbo land. These are their borders. These are their neighbors. So if you let
me come into what you are saying, sir. What you are saying is you are right in what you are saying, but not all Igbos are like this. Not all the Igbos. Not all of them. They are good Igbos too,
No, I'm not saying that. So sorry, my light went off. Nigeria. It's not. I'm not. They are not. We are not 100% bad. I'm not saying 100%.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm understanding you. I get
but
you.
But what
now.
I'm trying to say, majority of the.
Yeah, majority. You are correct. Majority of the Igbos.
Some may not like it. They may not like it, but somehow they couldn't do anything. Unable to stand up and speak for it. So you see, they now give that kind of thing. It's like agree with what the abnormal.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's the point.
Some people don't like it. Some people are not happy. Some people are not happy with what is going on.
A lot. Good. Thank God, light is back. A lot of them may not be accepting that, but they don't have the power to change that.
Because 80% of Igbos are supporting that. So the 20 or 30% cannot do anything about it.
Yes, that's the point I'm trying to say. So see the game Obis is playing now. Obis is playing the game, let's polarize the country into Muslim and Christian.
Correct, that's
correct.
He thinks
by that sentiment, a Yoruba man will be forced to vote for him. A Northerner who is a Christian, because of sentiment, this is the kind of thing he's trying to ride on. This is exactly the game.
You are correct, because the game plan, because when I see him go to the Catholics, because I saw Obi go to the Catholics and seek for the endorsement of all the Catholics and the Anglicans. That was when I knew that Obi is trying to. That's why I said told the Nekpe that Obi is not a stupid man. He's not a foolish. He's not foolish. He understands Nigerian politics.
Yes. There's a
and the Catholics are endorsing Obi right now. They are endorsing the Anglicans and the Catholics. They are endorsing Peter Obi right now. So he's trying to play a game between the Christians and the Muslims, like divide.
Yes, that's exactly what you want.
The partisan politics.
Yeah. So you see, the shocker for him is his last game. It's going to be the last time he's going to feature in political terrain of this country. Do you know why I say so? Because I, as a Muslim, would not agree, would not support anybody. I'm just telling you now. And there are a lot of people like me, up to maybe 50%, would not agree that Nigeria should be run like a Muslim country, because we are not Muslim. We are not all Muslim. And I can tell you this audibly, that 40 to 50% of the people will not even accept, even when they want to start Sharia. It's not everybody accept. There are a lot of voices that say it's not possible. Let me give you one history. In 1979 to 1980, there's a governor in Sokoto who wanted to start Sharia. The Sultan, which is the leader of Muslim in the country, did not agree with him. But people started making noise.
So the question I want to ask you, sir, before we go on, is that do you think that the northern Christians would go with support Peter Obi? What do you think about the north? You know, there's a lot of Christians in the north.
You don't know the shocker. The shocker is there for him. There is a shocker. He is thinking that. He's assuming that. That's his assumption. But it's going to shock him.
No, that's the calculation. That is a political calculation.
That's the calculation, yes. That's what he's calculating. But he's going to lose. Because in the north, I was in Lagos for a very long time. There is issue that borders, even among the northern Christians. When we're in Lagos, we all behave like brothers and sisters. But when there was a problem, they generalized them. They are all northerner. And they used to complain about that. They don't feel happy about it. That's so why should they even support northerner? That when there's a problem, they will say northerner. But when it comes to maybe church activity or whatever they do, now they say, okay, you're different from this. But when problem come, they say they are all northerner. I'll tell you a scenario that happened. A friend of mine is from Gombe, is a Christian. He wanted to marry a lady, a Yoruba woman. The father resisted after some time. He agreed. When he agreed, they are going. He didn't know because the guy uses name. He has a Muslim name in his name, mixed with a Christian name. He always used the Muslim name. So he bought a Bible and gave the girl. When the father saw him buying the Bible and giving the daughter, the father started another resistance. Say, are you going to marry? You don't want, if you want to marry from not want to marry a Muslim, you know? And the thing was shock. He came to me and said, what's going on? He is a Christian, the woman is a Christian, but why is the father not happy with him? In fact, I don't want to use the word he used for him because I don't believe in that, but let me use it. He said, if you want to marry northerner, I want you to marry proper northerner. You understand what I'm saying? So those kind of things.
So what I want to ask you, sir, is that, you know, many of the IPOB are people agitating for Biafra. People calling for Biafra, them have stopped agitating right now. A lot of that, I don't know if you're aware of that. Many of them are not agitating like that. They are now supporting Peter Obi.
Yes.
So what do you feel about this progress? Do you think it's good for Nigeria? Like it's going to bring to peace? It's going to bring peace in the country that these people are no more agitating for Biafra, but they are calling for Peter Obi to be president.
Peter Obi is a IPOB candidate. Take it or leave it.
But don't you think do you think it's good for the country? You think it's good for Nigeria right now that these people are no more fighting?
Of course, it's not good for Nigeria, but it's part of our development. We can't do anything about it. People who tried that and failed. See, Nigeria were very united. We only talk on this thing. Because if you want to know how united Nigerians are, go to marketplace. You see, come to Kanuna, you see there are certain business that how someone don't trust his own person. Like let me give you an example, like mechanic now. Generally, how someone here will believe you give it to a mechanic, you won't do the job properly. You prefer to give the southern mechanic. And I also give you when I was in Lagos, there are a lot of people. There's a guy, a Yoruba guy, who went to Gambia. He came. He was having dollars. He was staying. He gave money for me to keep for him. He don't want his brother to know. You understand? So there are some element of trust and unity that we don't know. When it comes to we go around Lagos, you see, if not now, most of the houses, the Yoruba prefer to have a house of God or somebody in Niger claiming it's from Nigeria. You know, they feel safer.
So, what I want to ask you, sir, is that do you think Peter Obi should be given this presidency just to make the Igbos happy?
He's not even qualified to, you know, if it's a.
No, I'm just saying to make the Igbos happy. Do you think to just give it to him so that there will be peace? There will be fighting for agitation.
Who's going to vote for him? They need to vote for him. We have the democratic
what I'm saying, Nekpe, is that the Northerners can just support him just to make the Igbos happy.
No way. You see,
no, I don't think so.
Do you see is a wrong approach? See the approach the Yoruba pick. Or Abiola did everything, and somehow he was stopped. You know, they didn't do approach like we have the power to take it by force.
But what I'm saying, sir, sorry for cutting you short, but what I'm saying, sir, is that now the Biafra agitation have died down so much because of Peter Obi. Peter Obi have slowed down the agitation, and the violence in the south is not as much as it used to be. Because from what I heard yesterday, they told me that the killing have stopped. Igbos are no more killing like the way they used to kill. Before, you have like 10 to 15 people being killed on the streets for the agitation. But now that most the youth in Anambra, in Imo, in Ebonyi, most of them have left the agitation. They are now agitating for a Peter Obi presidency. So do you think this incidents can, the Northerners can just sympathize with the Igbos and say, okay, let's give it to them based on, so that there will be peace? Do you think the Northerners can go in that way?
That means he has no idea of the North. He didn't know. You can't intimidate Northerner. He'd rather die than to submit to your intimidation. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay, now I get you. I understand you.
You understand, Seku?
Yeah, go on, sir. I'm listening.
If you want something from the Northerner, you make him feel guilty that he has cheated you. It's not by intimidation, by calling names. Then definitely he's coming to bed. Once you put it, let me give you one history you may not know. You see, when Ojukwu wanted to succeed from Nigeria, Gawon was begging him. You know, you ship this way, they go to Ghana, they keep bending the law. When he was making that threat, he came, I think it's from Kano, Great Malamiko, say, let's go and fight these Igbos. If they kill us, we become their slave. But when we defeat them, then they have nothing to say. This is the attitude of Northerner. He doesn't mind when you threaten him like that. He knows two ways. Either you defeat him, you do what you like, or he defeats you, then you must do exactly what is going on.
So you think the strategy that Peter Obi is using, trying to get Biafras, trying to get sympathy for the Igbos, is not going to work? Is that what you're saying?
For where? It won't go anywhere. I bet you.
But I have a friend from Kaduna who told me that one of my friends from Kaduna. He said that this approach by Peter Obi, that
Daniel, I want to do something. I'm leaving the screen, so just talk to Mr. Tani. I'm coming back soon.
No problem. So my friend told me that the Northerners that might kind of have pity on the Igbos and say, okay, since they are no more, because now they are no more insulting the Hausa Fulanis now. It's not like before. They've stopped insulting Fulanis, and they are begging. The Igbos are begging for Fulanis to support Peter Obi. I don't know if you've seen that on social media.
In fact, people from UK and so many people want to add my name to Peter Obi. I told them point blank, no.
So they've been adding a lot of Fulanis. Some Fulanis have allowed their name to be added for Peter Obi. So do you think the Igbos might get sympathy for this? The Fulanis and the Hausa might change their mind.
You see, it's just the imagination. See, you can't say 100% people cannot do that. You may have people who will do that, right? But I can tell you that it's not going to take him anywhere. It's not going to. You see, if you look at, like, I'm taking you back to history, people like Joseph Turka were supporting the Igbos. But when the wars break up, they are largely people in the army to fight the Biafran. The thieves and they are largely in the army that fought Biafran. So at the beginning, you see there's those things. But the mistake that most people are doing, or a typical Igbo man is doing, especially when you talk about the Fulanis, you forget that cow. Let me give you one example. Let me give you one inspiration that you have to understand. If you look at cow and dog make a lot of back and show you a lot of sign. Cow is one of the most difficult things to understand because they don't shout. Maybe you cannot even hear him. You can't hear the noise of the sound of a cow. But the Fulani man knows how to communicate with cow. So, like in medicine too, you know, pediatrics are difficult to get because their children, they don't have a way of communicating to you. So we know much more by smiling or by even the clothes we wear. They can tell where it's going. So
but sir, let me say this, sir. Let me say this, sir. If Peter Obi, think about this scenario. If Peter Obi should lose this election, most Igbos are going to go back to agitation and blackmailing of the Fulanis.
Yes, let them continue.
So they will go back to that. So don't you think it's better to give Peter Obi this presidency so that there will be peace? The Igbos can calm down.
I told you the same thing. You see, like
Okay.
in the before the Civil War, they made that
Okay.
agitation. They want more states. Government created more states. They did that. At the end of the day, what happened? They say, okay, let's go to war. Yes, let's go to war. Let them, if
So
they are able to defeat,
let me
let them
understand.
defeat.
Let me understand you, sir. What you are saying is that if Peter Obi should win, if the Northerners should come together to vote Peter Obi, that would not solve the problem. Is that what you are trying to? It won't solve the problem in the long term.
They can't. They can't. You know, there are things that are. This is you are just making a hypothesis. It will
No,
not happen.
I'm just kind of giving it because you see the security situation in the southeast. You are aware of the
See,
security
do you know
situation in the
that? Let me
southeast.
give you listen. See, listen to what I'm saying. Don't forget that the Northerner have given
Daniel, wait for him to answer the question.
Okay,
about
okay,
two
no
chances
problem. Mhm.
about it. When the first took place, the Northerner give Zeke presidency. He didn't win it. He was given. When they killed Tafawa Balewa and Sardauna, the Northerner, I go around and ask Northerner to accept him as a president. They did. What happened? And let me tell you something about North. They said, if you are cheated once, it might be mistake. You are cheated second, it's not a mistake. Third one definitely is not a mistake. So only a foolish will allow himself to be cheated for third time. So Igbo have that records, and they haven't changed. There's no any sign of remorse or of change in character. So there's no way. You know, you cannot just like imagine a woman who have two, a woman who's married to two women married to one man. Do you tell me that the woman A can give can ask the husband to divorce her so that the woman B will win? No.
That is true. But looking at the security situation, that's why I said that. The situation in the southeast.
You see the security. You see the only reason what you don't know. I think Abraham this way was saying something like that. That they Yoruba don't cause trouble because they like life.
They don't cause trouble.
That
That's
doesn't
true.
mean
Yorubas don't cause trouble. It's true.
you see that doesn't mean we don't like life. But the issue is that if you threaten us, we are ready for the worst. So all this thing is a threat. All this thing they are kind of is a threat. You understand? And let me say something you don't understand. In case any woman is listening, what the president is doing now is waiting so that the atrocity of the IPOP will be known to the world, to be able to allow to classify them as a terrorist group. Then you see whether you take them 1 month to finish
But
them.
the more he's waiting, the more the crimes are going on. There's killing in the southeast, and this killing in the southeast has been going on.
Yes, before this recording,
People's hand limbs are being cut off. You're watching these videos. People's limbs are being cut off by the agitators, and there's massive atrocity has been committed by the agitators.
Yes, what you see, like the Boko Haram now, they are already declared terrorists. See how they dealt with them.
That's correct. That's correct.
If people has continued, the world have taken notice of their atrocity, I bet you it will take 2 weeks to clear all the Biafran, the IPOP.
Right now it's getting better because of Peter Obi. I think the security situation have improved.
Yes,
recently because of Peter Obi.
Let me tell you, the government has the capacity to enforce law, to enforce peace in any society. But what the government of Nigeria now is afraid of, Rwanda, you heard of all these things that came up, international court of law, stuff like that. They want to justify that the act of intolerance or war
terrorism,
by any group, either terrorism, is justifiable to the world before they sanction them. So it's like
you are correct, sir. But if you look at what is going on, sir, from my own outlook right now, like I said to you before, if you look at what is going on right now, the southeast is coming down right now. The agitation have slowed down.
They are playing along. It's not coming down.
No, for now, the agitation have slowed down. That's the fact on ground.
Yeah, but they are trying to reach objectives. Their objectives. As long as they don't have what they want, they will go back to their position.
So that is the reason why I say that should an Igbo man be given just to make peace? That's why I said that.
We don't need
that. Fulani support Igbo presidency?
No, we will not. Let me tell you that. Listen to what Bob Marley said. Give them an inch, they take a yard. Give them a yard, they take a mile. This is what they are.
So
The
what is
last
the
resort-
solution? What is the solution?
The solution is in every international law is that the stronger, the dominant will have its way. The less dominant will have its say. That's standard all over the world. Even in America, they have Communist Party. Are you aware?
Yeah, I have, that's correct.
Yes, they have common, but the capitalists are stronger than the Communist Party, and they quench them. There's no country that doesn't have rival opposition. So, but the dominant force would be the reigning. And there's no way the North can submit like any other person. I can bet you, if Igbo are in the same position the North has, in terms of number, in terms of military strength, and so other thing, they will never listen to us. We all know that.
No, that's everybody knows that. But the thing is that how do you think the Igbos can come in? Because the Igbos are crying about agitation. They are agitating for
The Igbos,
that they are
you
being
see,
there, they are
Nigeria,
being
you see,
marginalized. That's why they are fighting. That's why they are not happy.
That is not true. They are all over. They all have their. You see, every like there's an argument there on that point. We have like 300 languages,
That's
300
correct.
or more
300 or more
languages.
yeah.
Now you hear the Igbo say nepotism. It's a lie. This government tried to give every tribe representation, and I can assure you, there's no tribe out of this 300 that don't have representation in the federal government. So anybody from Kogi to Sokoto is a Fulani man. Everybody from Kwara to Maiduguri is a Fulani man. Everybody from Benue, especially if his name is this. That's their argument as regards to nepotism. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I'm understanding
So,
you. I'm understanding you.
This narrative we know this is what they know how to do. So we don't.
So, but how
listen
can
to anything.
what is it? Okay, go on, sir. Go on. I'm listening. Go on.
See, black people are in America. They've been there.
I live in America. I live here in America.
Good. So you can see the relationship between Caucasians and the black.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have when black powered down, we had Obama. But it's not
That's the question.
fault.
That's the question I want to ask you. How can the Igbo man become president? How? What did the Igbo man need to do to become
Very
president?
good. The Igbo man need to do simple things like the Yoruba did now. What?
Okay, I'm listening to you. Let me fold my hands.
Now he has to be nationalist. He has to allow other people in his land. He has to stop. He has to be tolerant to other people. Let me give you an example. If you have an Igbo man as a manager in a company, federal company, I can assure you his cook, his driver, his dry cleaner, his every aspect of this thing will come from his village. It's a gradual thing. They have to change their attitude. They have to make their acceptance to other people. Yoruba, they may be a little bit this or that, but still, Yoruba will tolerate you to some level if you are not Yoruba.
No, that's correct. Lagos is a good example. Ibadan, Ogun State.
Good.
They are good example. The Northerners, the Igbos, everybody is there living their lives.
So in the north, it's all over. You can. In fact, another person will just for ceremonial thing. Even if the person is not qualified to have representation, you try to add it up. There's no company, business, or this that there's no Igbo in it. In fact, a whole big land was given to them, and they're developing it like not Sabongeria, a new land now. They call it New Abuja. So they have to do something like that. Even a shop, nobody can own a shop in Onisha or if it's not Igbo. So this
that is correct.
They have to work on themselves first. Without anybody close themselves and work on themselves. So if they are able to achieve that,
Mr. Hansa.
Go ahead.
Mr. Hansa, the topic of today is about Peter Obi picking a Christian from the Southwest So we were saying that we were expecting him to pick a charismatic Muslim from the north.
But let me
You
come in.
understand?
One minute,
So
please.
let me
Okupe
finish.
is a
Let me
charismatic
finish.
One
Let me
minute.
president.
finish.
I will let you finish. 1 minute. I just want to clarify because of people watching. That is not the final. He has not finalized yet. Peter Obi has not finalized. I just want to clarify that. He hasn't finalized it. He still have time to make changes. I just want to say that. Keep that in.
Okay, let's just assume that this is the candidate because he has already announced it.
Yes,
So
correct.
we don't believe on potential candidates. He has already announced this. It's official now.
Right,
Let's debate
right,
on
right.
what we have on top of the table right
Dr.
now.
Okupe,
So
the
if
medical
anything
doctor,
changes in future, we can debate about it. But for now, let's
yes.
just discuss about this. We were expecting Peter Obi to pick a charismatic Muslim from the north in order to balance his campaign. Christian from the south, it's not going to work for him. There's no future in his campaign like that because even though he picked a Christian from the north, you understand, it's still Christian. We're expecting him to balance it. So, Mr. Hansa, what do you think about his running mate right now?
Okay, Dr. Okupe, I know him in Lagos. He has a clinic in Obalende. He's a to Obasanjo. So, but the issue is that he does not demand, he does not have supporter in Yoruba land. That's the first thing. Because they want to cause problem for Tinubu in the West. That's his attempt. He wants to divide the Tinubu supporter in his own thinking. But Okupe doesn't have that support to divide the vote of Tinubu in the West. In fact, Okupe will be black sheep. He loses what he has because they will look at him as an enemy of the Yoruba people. So that wouldn't work. That's a miscalculation. Number two, it's not. You see, the North is not about Muslim, Christian. That's why last time I said we are moving forward. If you look at Gawan time, Gawan's deputy, Gawan was a Christian, his deputy was a Christian. A lot of the chief of army staff, they're all Christians. So nobody say anything about those things. But it's still the same, the Igbo that are using that one as nepotism, as a Muslim. You understand what I'm saying? If you look at the service chief today, they are from different states. Some of them are not Hausa or are not Fulani. But the fact that they are very Muslim name or they are Hausa name, you assume that they are bearing that. So picking that Okupe number one is charismatic, though it's always go.
No, Okupe is a good man. He's a good man.
Yes, I know him. He's a charismatic person, but he make a lot of blunder. Let me give you one biggest mistake that kicked him out of Obasanjo's government. They were congratulating Obasanjo when he first 1999. Okupe said, these people, they think it's their time. Where may they see? Something like that. And he needs to get to Obasanjo. That's how Obasanjo dropped him. He was the presidential spokesman of Obasanjo. So, you see, it's also, he dwells on crisis. Okupe himself. Ordinarily, dwell on crisis. He wants something that is not. He swear in his life that Buhari will not become president. He has those things that even it's not a typical Yoruba man is not even comfortable with him. So
sorry for coming. One thing I want to say to you, sir, Okupe is very popular in the West. You need to know that.
I agree.
He has media. Okupe is a media. He has media power. He has power on the media.
Yes, see what I'm trying to say. I already say he's a popular person. He's charismatic. I didn't say that, but he is standing on the way of Tinubu. Now you lose all those charismatic, all those support, because they will look at him now as a sellout.
That is the mathematics that Peter Obi is trying to play, the politics.
Yes, he's trying to divide the Euro, so but it won't work for him. That's the point I'm making. It to backfire on him, because a Yoruba man may not be, you may not like his person so much. If you live with them, but outwardly, he cannot say anything against his people. Outwardly, the Yoruba man may work against the Yoruba person, but not outwardly, maybe in secret. They cannot do that openly. So they will now look at Okupe as working against the Yoruba interests.
So what I want to ask you, sir, what do you think about the popularity of Mr. Peter Obi on social media? What do you make of that?
I think his popularity is based on IPOP, because here in the north, I can show you that only a very elite knows about Peter Obi. Nobody knows him. Nobody talks about him here.
But what about the pictures of Fulani men that has been campaigning for him also? People wearing
You can
Fulani
hire
clothing,
anybody
campaigning
now.
for
You can
him,
hire
speaking
crowd.
Hausa on videos.
You can hire any crowd. It doesn't matter. And don't forget that we are not so bitter in politics like maybe the South has. Somebody can come with 2,000 naira, can go, he just want the 2,000. When he leave, maybe it's insulting in his mind. So he can go for, if you spray some money, he can attend, and that's the end of it. So it's not real.
So you think all those people, all those Fulani people are IPOP propaganda? Is a propaganda by IPOP? Is that what
Number
you're
one,
saying?
you see, we have classification of Fulani. We have the Soro Fulani, that's it, home Fulani like me. We have the rural Fulani. No rural Fulani get involved in those kind of things, even for Buhari.
So then where did
So
the
anybody,
popularity of because on social media, Peter Obi is very popular more than everybody.
you know,
You
how
don't
many
you don't use
social media?
popularity on
This is
social
just
media
the
to predict the election at all.